We have gone through everything in my garage already, right? Other videos, done all this, done all that. There's one spot we haven't done yet. I think we're going to tackle that today. Don't mind the garage, it's a bit of a mess. By the way, I'm Hawk. I make props and costumes. And today I think we're going to tackle the 3D printing room. And yes, my garage is a bit of a mess. But that room is the worst. I suppose I should preface this by explaining. This guy, this is my droid. I've been printing a bunch of parts for him. But not everything has come out as nice as I would like. And it has taken me an unbelievable amount of time to print it. My printer is decent, but it is very slow. It's also large format. I mean, it's like 340 by 340, which is like a foot by a foot by a foot. So it's a really nice printer, but it's just so painfully slow. So unfortunately, I had to order a new one, and that was pricey. There's only like 2,000 of us at the moment. I don't have the clout needed to go, hey, huge company, why don't you send me a free printer so I can test it out? That's not how this works. Everything that you see that I have done, I have paid for myself. I have 4 channel members, and I make about $100 a year on YouTube. So investing in a new printer was painful, but I think in the long run it'll be useful. Horrible confession time. I don't really hoard supplies. I don't hoard fabric. My leather's getting a little out of control. I'm going to have to do some projects to trim all that down. But there is one thing I do hoard. It's electronics. That is what is in here. So we're about to see what we're about to see. There is a print going on, by the way, so you're going to hear weird noises in the background. It's real hard to film in here. This room is only like 5 foot by, well, it's a decent width, it's just only 5 foot wide. And when the garage was completely un-air conditioned and heated, this was the only room that had climate control. It didn't have AC, but it had heat. Because most of the things I have, like resins or I guess resins, all need that specific, you can't freeze. So this room was priority number 1 when we first moved in. Now that I have my mini split, it's not nearly as necessary, but it is still very warm in here. So now when a print finishes, I tend to just stack stuff in here. So what you're about to see is not pretty. Empty boxes, lots of empty spools, and just a ton of support. My printer, some storage, way more storage, my other printers, and just a lot of stuff that I don't think I've touched in years. But since I'm getting a new large format printer, it's not like large format, it's the same as my my Tronxy. I do need to figure out where it's going. And this isn't going to work. I mean, I've got 4 printers, 5 if you count that one. 5 if you count that one, which is just the frame of a printer and all the bits to make it a printer, which I just haven't had time to put together. Yeah. Alright, step 1's going to be pulling everything out. All the garbage goes in a bag, all the recycling goes in a bag. And we'll see where we're at once we have everything at least slightly sorted. And that is just the pile of recycling that I need to put away now. So here's what I'm thinking. Right now I have all my resin printers here and my FDM printer over here. This one is also an FDM printer. Doesn't work. Again, I have to wire it. Finding time to do that, super precious. So I'm going to pull everything off of this and maybe move everything over, see where we're at. This is what I'm thinking. I want a shelf right about here, right? So I can put my battery backup on it. I'm just using 2x8s because it's what I have. I don't feel like going and getting lumber for this. So on a shelf right where that one is, and then spaced evenly. I'm gonna have to move everything again. And this thing is heavy. So I'm just using 2x10s, 2x8s. 2x8s for this just because, like I said, it's what I have. And it's just a quick shelf. I'm not trying to do anything super fancy with it. So I'm pretty sure if I just have this evenly spaced, it'll be fine. I'm about 9 inches tall. Horizontal surfaces lead to putting things in horizontal surfaces. The whole point of this shelf is to push everything forward. As I wasn't quite sure what I was building this for when I first made it. So it's a bit deep for my resin printers. Part of the point of this is to space everything forward. With this gap, it's just going to slide back. So I'm going to put this in front. So this is going to sound weird to anybody who doesn't own one. But I recently moved my jukebox, the one that I've been storing in the garage, from the corner to closer to the front. So now my entire garage smells like jukebox. Jeez Louise. Looked at the trap ray. Now that I am horribly backlit, let's put everything back. Alright. Should clean all this stuff before I mess with it. I like where that is. Resins go over there. And it just leaves this whole area. Casting resins. Normal. Oh. Low on resin. Standard resin. Not low on resin. Rag resin. I keep putting things away. Put a bit of pink foam down just so it's flat, and I didn't want stuff laying, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, I said I didn't care how it looked, and I think that may be a lie. If I have the option to make it look nice with just a little extra work, I should probably make it look nice with just a little extra work. I have a bunch of extra trim, or I have extra snap and click laminate flooring left over from a project I was working on that I finished. So 2 extra pieces, that would be just enough, but I have to decide if I care enough. I think I just might. Which turned this from a quick and easy thing to a little more complicated of a thing. Because that is fine, and it does exactly what I need it to. But I don't think I like it. So I got a piece of foam, put down some of that laminate. It's a small difference. Nobody's ever going to really notice it, but I'm going to notice it, and I think it makes a huge difference. I don't have a piece that's a full length. It's a 5 foot. So I'll have to find something different. If I can get a laminate to go across, it'd be neat. That way I could put one down here on this too, so just to jazz it up a little bit. Down here, there's another story. So again, when I set this up the first time, years ago, all of this made sense. I had a laptop down here for laptop stuff, in case I needed it for the computers. Equipment. This is full of, like, I was working on a Jeep at the time, and this was going to be the radio for it. I don't have that Jeep anymore. I mean, most of the stuff in here is absolutely useless. And it's just taking up space. So I think it may be time to let these drawers go. It's kind of the point of this whole thing, isn't it? Just getting rid of the stuff I don't need so I have room for the things I care about. You know? Maybe I'll keep one of them and get rid of the other one. I'll need to think on that. Cleaned off, acetoned, ready to go. This one, Tronxy, it's going right here. It's probably going to end up right here, but for now, right here. With luck, it'll fit. Like barely. probably because of that. Baby steps. So far, so good. It fits. Mostly level. I'll fix that in a bit. It's about as far as I can go today. Unfortunately, I have to wait for the new printer to show up so I can see what kind of a footprint it has. Because I'm thinking about putting it in the corner, depending on where the spool is, and then the shelves in between for filament. I'm not quite sure. These shelves are just a little too long. Right? But just a little. I don't know if they make 9-inch shelves. I'm gonna have to find out, because if they do, that'd be perfect. A nice 9-inch shelf across the top where I can just put all my filament would be super useful. But I think that's it for today. We'll pick this back up in the morning. There is no easy way to film this. Counter's cleaned off. I guess I'm now an unboxing channel, huh? Seems packaged well. I don't see any dents, dings, nothing out of the ordinary. Right. Okay, neat. Same brand of screwdriver I use. Got kind of handles on it. Probably how I'm supposed to pick it up. Jeez Louise. This is a very cool looking printer, but it's a very heavy printer. But I have a feeling like a CNC machine, extra mass is in its benefit. It's a feature. Thing sure is wrapped real well. Gotta be great for my audio, huh? A lot of packaging material to get rid of. But if it means the printer's safe, probably worth it, right? Compare build plates real quick. Same build plate. Good. I'm sure the size is a little different, but now for my favorite part. Reading instructions. Always read the instructions. People are like, no, I don't need to. No, yeah, you do. Read the instructions. Basic PLA, spool holder, it's a big box for, okay, that's a bit better. The instructions say to plug it in next. What it says to do is what I'm going to do. The problem is the filament goes in on the back. And I don't have to move it every single time to get to the filament. It's got a Bowden tube right here, so I could probably just run filament to it. Pull out the box, grab the power cord, plug the power cord in, turn it on. Booting up, please wait. English. Next. Man, they weren't messing around with these zip ties. It says to remove them. So to pull these zip ties out, there's a point where it lays flat and I have to pull harder than I'd like. Clean and unlocked. I have no idea if it's locked. Did everything it said I was going to do. That should be it. So apparently this is supposed to click onto the back. The filament dryer. I'm using PLA, I'm not worried about dry. My temporary solution that's probably going to become a permanent solution. That way I can access it much better. I think we're here. It's doing a thing. Let's watch the thing do the thing. This is exciting. Not super exciting. It's probably relatively boring for people watching, but I find it fascinating. Whoever decided red text on dark blue was a good idea needs to be shot. Or maybe not shot. Needs to be, you know, talked to. Okay, for some reason it's not doing the thing. Which means it is probably not all the way into the extruder just yet. Oh my goodness. This design is just horrible. It has occurred to me I have no idea where to put the jump drive. Looks like the USB port is over here. Or in the back. Man, this design is not intuitive. Putting everything in the back is just weird. This is not supposed to be a how-to video. This isn't setting the printer up. It's supposed to be about the room. Unfortunately, a lot of this room has to do with this stupid printer. I'm going to finish setting this stupid thing up. And then I'm going to start a print. And we'll pick this back up when we're building again. Because like I said, they haven't paid me for this. I ain't advertising for them. The new fan is crazy loud. At least next to it. Here it's not that bad. So, put up a new shelf. Just filament. It's going to go all the way over and connect to the other one. I was going to replace it with wood, but I'd rather everything match. So I went out, I got larger wire shelves because stuff's pretty inexpensive-ish. And for what it's worth, or for what it's doing, it's way inexpensive. I'm going to connect it to the next shelf so it's all one solid shelf like the top shelf. And this is just going to be 3D printing stuff. From here to there, just 3D printing stuff. I'm probably going to do a long, hard think about what I do and don't need in here because there's a lot of stuff I don't really need. I could put the 3D printing, or I could put the filament down. So I have a shelf down here as well, but I think I like it up better. But maybe not. I don't know. So putting it down here keeps it away from the heat from the printer. I don't know how big of a deal that is. But it, down there gives it the out of sight, out of mind problem. Honestly, once I get rid of all the stuff that's in here that's not supposed to be in here, it's going to be very empty. So I don't even know if I need that shelf. But I don't want to get rid of shelving because it's shelving. I think it may be on something. So we're just going to go and move some stuff around. We're going to time lapse this and see how well this idea works. Check this out. So the resin printers, I made a second shelf underneath, I put all of my old camera gear there. Well, not old, extra camera gear. Like there's tripods and, you know, clamp lights. And since it's built like a torsion table, I've got a bunch of cross beams that I can have my clamp lights stuck to. And I put in a hook. So I have something to hang the cords over, so they're hanging in the back, not in the front. So I think I have everything set up how I want it set up. I just now have to go through everything and figure out what I'm doing with all of it. And that's the part that's going to take the most time. I think we're going to start with this top shelf. Because I have a bunch of weird stuff up there, right? I mean, ring light, it'll go with filming. But, so here's part of the problem, right? I've got a couple of these airsoft guns used for making like solo blasters, and they are, I think, like 80% scale. But then my buddy Sean turned me on to Denix. These things, this is an exact replica of a Broomhauer Mauser. Actual metal. The stuff does the thing the stuff's supposed to do, like things that are supposed to click do the click and things that are supposed to slide do the slide. They're a little more expensive, but for all metal, they're by far superior. I have two of these, one for me and one for Kim. I don't know why, because we're going to do something with them, I guess. But this, what is this? This is the screen for that. I got lots of weird stuff in here. I know we all have weird stuff in our... This is my oubliette. Like a USB capture card. My computer does not need a USB capture card. But what does one do with old electronics? I don't even know what this is. Soundboard, maybe? Trying to squint myself to 2020. It's not going to work. What do we got? Class D amp. This is jukebox stuff that I don't need. The innards to a Christmas Village. Something from Tronixy that apparently I've never opened. Alright, let's see what this is. This appears to be a replacement board. I have no idea why I have a replacement board, but there we are. So we'll put this directly under this printer. This, I believe, is just a power supply. I have memory of some kind. Laptop memory for laptop. Another power supply. And then I have an old graphics card that I'm not using, but I'm like, yeah, but what if I want to make another computer? I have another computer. Look at this. Look at this. I have another computer right here. When Chris's computer died, he's like, what are we going to do with this? I'm like, maybe I'll make another one. I'm not making another computer. My computer's fantastic. I should let everything go. Maybe I will. Wouldn't that be interesting? How does one recycle electronics? So it has taken me just over a week, but I think It's done. Let's go take a look. So I have plenty of room for more stuff. I don't need more stuff. I really just needed a bit of shelves and a little bit of organization, and mainly to get rid of all of the stuff that I had been hoarding and holding on to for so long that it's kind of lifting to get rid of these things, right? I had so much stuff in here. It's crazy to think how much was just jammed into this little bitty room, and had been for like a decade. But in the end, I'm exceptionally happy with how everything turned out. I feel like I want to spend more time in here. I can't film in here because this is just a tiny little room. It's it's definitely bigger than a closet, but having a spot where I can work is super important. Now I just have to figure out what to do with all this old electronics. What do you do with electronics? I have no idea. I've got projects that I'm not going to touch anymore. I have to let that stuff go. I have 2 full printers that don't work because I haven't put them together, and I'm not gonna. I don't have that kind of time. What do you do with that kind of stuff? I have no idea. No idea. I don't even know if there's a local like Makerspace that could take some of this stuff. I just don't know. I don't want to just get rid of it because it's all still pretty good. I don't know. Weird. Anyway, so next week we're going back to R6, arsenic. I'm gonna put the playlist in one of these corners. Probably this corner here. I'll let the algorithm decide what you want over here, but no matter what, thanks for making it to the end. It makes a huge difference. And I'll see you next time.